Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. It's going to be one of those weird episodes because I was speaking to somebody today, and so I was coaching them. They were telling me how they've tried everything, and I said, "No, you haven't tried everything, because you base your skill level based off of whatever you watched." Because you're telling me all of this stuff about they've done date nights, they've gone out, he's done candle lights, he's done shows, he's done all these things as contributors to seduction, and that's inverted commas. I was doing inverted commas then. And we all know, for everybody who's been on this podcast for a while or who's listened to it for a while, none of that are contributors to seduction. It's just you offloading a burden off her, if for lack of a better statement or words. So that doesn't work in order for that person to want to have sex with you. You can do it. I do chores around the house, and I still do dishes. I do washing. I do it for myself, and also as an example for my kids. That you have to keep your house tidy. You have to keep things neat and order. You have to make sure that your clothes are washed and your plates are washed. That's as an example for my children. And for me, because I want to see things neat and tidy. I'm not doing it for her in order for her to end up giving me sex, because then it becomes transactional. It's not sex anymore, which I said to him. I said, your problem isn't that you don't love your wife, and the problem isn't that the problem is that you lack skill. And most people, they miss the most fundamental part about building a skill. Is that when you're building a skill, you're gonna suck. You're gonna be horrible. And most people don't put themselves in places where they feel uncomfortable enough to learn a skill. So if you think about it, when it got tough within your relationship and the sex wasn't as frequent, you needed to present yourself in a different way and start learning the skill for you to have that frequency back. You presented yourself a few times, you got shut down, and then all of a sudden you've wasted away like some little bitch. Sorry. So I'm just a little bit fired up today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the real thing is that you just wasted away like some little bitch. Decided, she's rejected me. Oh, it's the way I look. Oh, maybe I don't make enough money. Oh, maybe it's a guy who's better than me. You've gone in all about yourself. Oh, this dry spell. This lack of sex. And you go all into your head about it. And 9 times out of 10, you don't do that frequency in terms of just wanting to build the skill. So I'll give you an example. So when I was learning how to be a pickup artist, one of the things that we did was we needed to do approaches, and approaches was very difficult because you would get rejections. We didn't know how to position our body. We didn't know how to project our voice. We didn't know how to maintain eye contact. We projected our feelings, which was a nervous vibe, a massive nervous vibe. Nine times out of 10, that was the reason why we got rejected anyways. So there were certain things that we needed to learn. And we realized pretty quickly that we needed to just have a volume of approaches. So the more approaches that we made, the better we got at starting the conversation. And then as we got better at starting the conversation, we started realizing that we needed to turn the conversation from being friendly to something that is at least a little bit sexual. So we started putting sexual spikes inside this conversation. When we started doing that, we sucked. We were useless. So we had to put a lot of volume in terms of many more approaches, many more times that you're trying to spike up the conversation sexually. And then when it came to seduction, to actually take the girl home from a club, that was a whole different skill set that I sucked for a long time until I had enough volume to be able to do it. So at the end of the day, where you are right now, in terms of being in a sexless relationship, it's always based upon the volume that you do. So most guys will argue and say, well, I do seduce. I do try it, and I've done many times. No, you haven't, because when it comes to seduction, if you are projecting nervous vibe, if you're projecting the fact that you've been rejected before, if you are trying to be transactional with your seduction, then you are failing, and you're so up, that you've been rejected before, you're all buttered about it, that you're failing to see that you can actually use that rejection as an opportunity to actually adapt and get better with your seduction. So the weird thing about it is that when I speak to some people, they say they've been doing this for a while, and then I coach them through it, but they just keep resorting back to what they think is what is right. And usually it's something to do with Hollywood influence, some Disney influence, something that is weird. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret. Usually I was going to wait for the masterclass to say this. The way she views sex and how she receives sex is completely different to the way you view. She thinks the way she views sex and the way she receives sex and getting to arousal is completely different to what you think she needs in order for her to receive sex. Now, if you are trying to align that, what she needs is nowhere near to what you see on Disney, what you see on porn, what you see on Hollywood films or anything like that. Completely different, massively different. So, one quick indicator is the fact that you have to be unapologetic. Like, okay, I'll give an example. The other day, we were about to get it on with my lady, and it said, let's go upstairs and have some cuddles. And I said that as I was standing up and walking to the bedroom. No hesitation, no ounce of doubt, absolute confidence. To be fair, all week I'd been working on seduction, because I never leave seduction mode. So I knew we were in desire phase. I know we're moving between interest and desire. So the way things what we're talking, the games what we're playing, all of that. So I was 100% sure. I didn't even look back. And took off my clothes, and then laid in bed. And I was waiting. A few minutes later, she was there. Started playing a little bit, but hard to get, because, what are you doing? Why are you naked? But it was now part of the game. Now, I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm just trying to tell you that there's certain things that I was doing that are completely opposite to what you think seduction should be. And the only way I've got to this level is because of just volumes and volumes of attempts. And every time I got rejected, I didn't get butthurt about it and then go and cry about it somewhere. Social media or Reddit. So what I'm trying to say to you right now is that the only thing that's going to make things better for you is to be able to embrace rejection and use that as an opportunity to adapt and get better. Now, if you don't know how to do this, we're going to be showing you on the masterclass how you actually do this. So, in fact, we'll give you tools to actually get better at seduction and give you a frame of mind of what it actually looks like. So, what is she thinking when it comes to seduction, and what should you be doing in terms of seduction? So, if you want to know, just go to our Instagram. You go to thriving_tribesmen and then type in masterclass, and you'll be able to join the masterclass. Then we'll walk you through how this will all work out for you. So I'm very excited to have made this episode. I think for the guys that are still listening to her, they know that I've just got a little bit weird with, I'm a bit more unapologetic about what I say. I just realized that my audience just like it the way it is. They don't have time for me to soften the approach, because before I was softening the approach because I was really trying to be, softy for you guys. But I think it's best if I just deliver it the way I'm thinking it and not filter it. And I'm not saying this in order to put you down or kick you when you're down, but more to elevate you, to really fire you up, get you real angry for change. So really happy to have had this opportunity to speak to you guys. Hopefully this message finds you in a place where you need this and you're going to make some actions. And the action is you go to Instagram, typing thriving_tribesman, and then type in masterclass. So I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.